Hi students, in the previous video I had explained how to convert decimal number into binary. In this video I am going to explain you how to convert binary number to decimal, just opposite of that. Now first of all try to understand the method. What is the method? If we have binary number, suppose 110, how can we convert into decimal number? Process is this: take 0, multiply 2 raised to power 0, plus take this 1 multiply 2 raised to power 1, plus take next one 1 into 2 raised to power 2. It means first of all 2 raised to, take the digit rightmost, 2 raised to power 0, take next digit 1 into 2 raised to power 1, next digit 2 raised to power 2, next digit if any, next digit whatever is this, multiply by 2 raised to power 3. It means 0, 1, 2, 3, you have to increase the power. Now calculate it. 2 raised to power 2 is 4, 4 into 1 4, plus 2 raised to power 1 is 2 into 1 2, and 0 multiplied 2 raised to power 0 is 0. So 4 plus 2 is 6. So 6 is the decimal number of this binary. So in such a way you can input any binary number and through this procedure you can convert. I am going to explain you with the help of recursive function. Recursive function to convert binary to decimal. In this function I have used strings. One function caret, another length and substring. Already we have discussed string in the previous classes. All the function we have discussed. So we will make use, because why we are going to use strings? Because the binary number can be of any number of digits. Maybe 5, 2, 3, 10, 20, any number, binary string of digits. So length can be of any number. So that's why we will extract one digit at a time using caret function. We will convert this digit into number and then we will multiply 2 raised to power p. P means power 0, 1, 2. That's why when we call from the main function name is b2d. Here string, I have taken a string. This is the binary number, and 0. Why I have passed 0? It is the power, because first of all we have to start from 0, 2 raised to power 0. So when we pass this here, st will be 110 and power is 0. st dot length equal to 0? No, length is 3. Else, come to the else block. Extract the character, rightmost character. That's why I have written st dot caret st dot length minus 1. The rightmost character is 0 and this is character. So now we have to convert into integer number. Two methods are there. Either using ASCII code, you can write just the number k minus 48. The number is k minus 48. 48 is the ASCII code of 0. Or you can convert k into string. This is string with empty double inverted comma plus k. So this character will become a string using parseInt function of integer class. Integer dot parseInt convert this string 0 into exact 0. So value of b will be 0. This is now 0, integer. Here it was character. Now b 0 like this here, multiply by 2 raised to power 0. P is 0 here, to 2 raised to power 0. Clear? So in typecasting, because power function return double type value, that why typecasting is required. So 2 raised to power 0 is here and 0 multiply is here, stored in S. The result will be stored in S. So S will be 0. So 0 into 2 to the power 0, 0, it means 1 into 0, 0. Now return, call the function again, but this time how will you call? I have written st dot substring 0 comma st dot. This time I have to pass not 110, I have to pass only 11. This one 0 comma st dot length minus 1. So substring function, this will be passed. So it will remove the last digit. Okay, last character from the string of digits. and comma p plus 1. P plus 1 is power will be increased 0 plus 1. So next time power will be 1. And s, what are the value of s which is calculated here? That will be added. S was here 0. Now first of all call this function. So same way this is the new memory blocks of the same function as we have discussed earlier in the previous video also. I made this just to explain you. These are the 3 memory blocks of the same function. But this time the value of st will be changed. It is now 11. 11 is 1 1 and power is 1. So here it will be 1 1 and power is also 1. Get the length. Length is 2. Condition is false. Come to the else. Extract the character. This time you will get 1. The rightmost character is 1. Convert into integer number. B will be 1. So 1 into 2 raised to the power p. P is now 2 raised to power p is 1. This one. 1 into 2 raised to power 1. Okay. So value of s will be 2. So here value of s will be 2. Okay. Call this function again b2d by passing 0 comma st dot length minus 1. It means now this time again one more digit will be removed, rightmost. Only single digit will be passed, that is 1, but power will be increased 1 plus 1 2. So next function call it will be 1, value of st is 1 and value of p will be 2, power is increased. Again length is not 0, length is 1, still 1. Come to the else, extract the same character, 1 will be extracted and convert into integer, b will become 1 again. Now 1 into 2 raised to power p, p is now 2, 2 raised to power 2 is 4. So 4 into 1, 4, s will be 4, s will be 4, okay. And again call the function by passing st dot length minus 0 comma st dot length minus 1 using substring function. So nothing will be passed, empty will be passed, so length will be 0, it will return 0, it will return 0 to this function. And here s was 4, 0 plus 4, 4 will be returned to this function, and 4 plus 2, 6, 6 will be returned finally to this function, and 6 plus 0 is 6, finally 6 will be returned back to the b and 6 will be printed here. Now one more thing, here 0 is compulsory to pass, otherwise I told you the method, you make another function in which you have to pass only this number, from there you can pass 0. Example, just again I am going to explain you one more function which you can make. Static int b, d is the suppose function name, and here or you even you can keep the same name, b to d, same name you can keep, and from here take string st comma int, I am writing here p, and call this function using return, you can call directly return b to d and pass here st, here you remove the p, you take only st, st comma 0. From here now call only this one. So call the b2d function, this function will be called by passing the binary digits, and when you call this function b2d again, st comma 0 you have to pass here, then finally it will return to this function, this will return back to the main function, and finally the decimal number will be printed. That's all. Now I am going to explain you binary recursion, in which same function will be called twice. So we will generate Fibonacci series using the binary recursion. First of all, you should know what is Fibonacci series. Each term is the sum of previous term. In the previous videos, I had explained you with the help of iteration means loops. With the help of loops, we have already generated Fibonacci series. The sum of previous terms. See 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. These are the terms of Fibonacci series. So 1 plus 1, 2, 1 plus 2, 3, 2 plus 3, 5, 3 plus 5, 8. Like this. So this is the function only, which will generate single term of Fibonacci series. So if you pass 4 here, it will give you only one term, fourth term, 1, 2, 3, 4. This term will be returned by this function. This is the main function, public static void main. From here, we'll call this function fab. Function name is fab, passing 4. So after computing, it will return you the fourth term and it will be printed here. Let's start working. I am going to explain you the working. So consider these are the different memory blocks of the same function. Same function. 1, 2, 3, and this is 1, fourth function. So start from the main function. I am passing 4. So value of n will be 4. If n is equal to 1, n is 0, both the conditions are false. So call the function return. There are two times I have written function, fab n minus 1 plus fab n minus 2. So whichever appear first, that will be called first. Both the functions will not be called together. Only one out of these will be called, and this will be called first, whichever come first. So, but 4 minus 1, 3. So we will pass 3 from here to the next function call, the next memory block, and consider this is the next memory block where value of n is 3. Okay, condition is false again. So 3 minus 1, 2. Again, there are two times. So 2 will be passed to the next memory block. Consider this is the next memory block where n is 2. Same way, condition is false. N minus 1, 2 minus 1, 1. So this function will be called by passing 1. And consider this is the next memory block where value of n is 1. So here condition is true. N is 1 or n is 0, but n is 1, so it will return n. N means 1. 1 will be returned here. So this function call will get 1. 1. Here I am writing 1 plus. Now this function will be called where n is 2. So 2 minus 2, 0. We are passing 0 from here, and when we will pass 0 again in the next memory block, condition will be true and it will return 0, because if n is 1 or n is 0, it will return the same number. So if n is 0, it will return 0. If n is 1, it will return 1. So see here, when we pass 1, it was returning 1. When we are passing 0, it is returning 0. So here it is 0. So both 1 plus 0. Now 1 plus 0, because this function will get 1 and this function will get 0. So altogether 1 plus 0 will be returned back to this function, and 1 plus 0 is now 1. Again, it means when we are passing 2 to this function, finally we are getting 1. It means when we pass 2, we are getting 1. Now turn of this function will come plus. Here n is 3. 3 minus 2, 1. So 1 will be passed from here. So when we pass 1, we will get 1 again in the next memory block, because condition will be true. So again this function will get 1 back. So finally 1 plus 1, 2. All together 2 will be returned to this function. So it means when we are passing 3, it will return 2, and when we are passing 2, it is returning 1. So when we are passing 3, it is returning 2. So 3 here we are passing to this function, finally it is returning 2. Now the turn of this function will come, where n is 4. So 4 minus 2, 2. Now 2 will be passed to the next memory block. So when we pass 2, what it returns? 1. So here you will get 1. Okay. So but when we are passing 3, what we are getting? We are getting 2. So 2 plus 1, 3. So finally 3 will be returned back to this function. K will become 3 and 3 will be printed here. And 3 will be printed means fourth term is So try to understand once more in the form of tree. If we are passing 4, it means this function is divided into this way, 3 and 2. See here, when we are passing 4, calling 4 minus 1, 3 and 4 minus 2, 2. First of all, this will be called, this function will be called here. So this will be called like this. Again, and again the leftmost will be called first. Now 1 and 0 are the base cases, already we written. If n is 1 or n is 0, it will start returning. So these are the base cases. So when we pass 1, it will give you 1. When we pass 0, it will give you 0. So 1 plus 0 will be 1. Now turn off this, and when we pass 1, it will give you 1. So 1 plus 1, 2. So when you pass 3, you will get 2. Now chance of this will come. Again it will be called twice like this. So when you pass 1, it will give you 1. When you pass 0, it will give you 0. 1 plus 0, 1. So 1 plus 2, finally you will get 3. So it means when you pass 4, it will return you 3. So see how many times the function will be called in the memory. So lot of memory will be occupied. That's why we say recursion is slower than the iteration. In iteration means in the loop, generally we take one variable, only one memory block is required, only the value of the same variable change each time when it iterates. But here in each function called, new memory will be allocated which occupies space, and fresh memory will be allocated to its variable which are declared either in the parameter or as a local variables. So in each function call, new memory will be allocated. That's why it becomes slower and slower. So one more thing, if you have to generate Fibonacci series, because this function is just to give you single term, if you have to generate the whole series, then make the loop here. See, I am converting just this to making the loop for int I equal to 1, I slash, suppose I want to generate a 6 term, int t equal to, call the function by passing I and print the value of t. This is the loop. So I is 1, when you pass 1, you will get first term. When you pass 2, you will get second term. When you pass 3, you will get third term, and so on, you will get all the 6 terms. That's all.